hard week being a Great Adventure fan, let me tell you. What's up, guys? I'm the East Coaster fan, and usually I like to keep my videos upbeat, positive, celebratory. As being part of this roller coaster community, I feel like that's one of the most important things we can do. But this is one of those important, I'll call it news stories, that needs to be discussed on this account, and I feel like would make a big discussion. So big, in fact, I don't plan for this to be just the only video talking about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, even though it's probably said in the title, Six Flags Great Adventure is deciding to close a total of 6 rides. Those being Kingda Ka, Green Lantern, Zumanjaro, Twister, the Parachute Tower, and the Skyway. Now, since each of these rides specifically means so much to me, I want to spend time talking about this in a more reactionary way. Later on, maybe this year or going into next year, I'll spend time going into each individual ride as a celebratory rip video. Because that's what we do here on this channel, apparently. But, man, this news struck home, for sure. Not gonna lie, I don't think there's been a single amusement park industry announcement this big that I've gone through like all stages of grief. Literally, when this first began as like rumors, I was in such denial, especially with Kingda Ka, as I could not fathom a company closing such a big roller coaster. In the announcement made by Six Flags, the company, not just Great Adventure, they use both the terms retiring and removal kind of interchangeably. So while rides like Twister, Parachute Tower, and Skyway were marked as being removed on the official PR statement, Green Lantern for some reason had the word retired, and so did Kingda Ka. Heck, Zumanjaro wasn't even mentioned at all, but it was later confirmed that it was grouped together with Kingda Ka, and that kind of makes sense. So people, including me for a second, thought like, oh, retiring, that's kind of like the same wordage they used on Top Thrill 2. They said like, oh, Top Thrill Dragster, as you know it, will be retiring, and then it eventually became Top Thrill 2. And there are a lot of people online, Instagram, Reddit, Discord, thinking that Kingda Ka could receive a similar treatment. And there's plenty of space with like Green Lantern being removed and all those other boardwalk attractions. But people reached out to the park for clarification and not only got the Zumanjaro confirmation, but also received confirmation from the park that Kingda Ka will be getting completely removed for a brand new attraction, which we'll get into in just a sec. I want to thank Sarah from Coaster Studios, Marcus LaShock, who are big figures in the community, and I'm sure others reached out to the park as well and got some more answers. But really everyone in the community that was making their voices heard, make it public that Kingda Ka and the rest of these attractions would be closing. If it wasn't for them, I would not have gone out this past Saturday to get my final rides on it. So that will be a video coming out, and even that visit, I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, it could be closing, but maybe not. I was kind of treating it as almost a speculation. Even on Instagram, I didn't really want to go either way in one direction or the other, saying, oh, it's certainly going to close, or, nah, that's stupid, it's going to stay. I was in between, kind of like staying neutral on the topic. In retrospect, I am still happy that I did that, but I don't know, it's still kind of sad I had to do that in the first place. I think the real thing that people are angry with, including me, is that Six Flags, the company, decided to close the attractions this way. Now, I understand that sometimes you don't have control in these scenarios. Like going back many, many years, I remember when Volcano the Blast Coaster closed, and that was during the off-season in like February, just a few days before my birthday, by the way. Happy birthday to me. But this is different because we're in November and Great Adventure is still open. That past weekend of Veterans Day, these attractions were still open for the most part. Well, not Parachute Tower or Skyway, but like the other 4 were. And I'm not using this to blame Great Adventure the park itself. They were probably told by corporate that you couldn't say it outright, but they were definitely implying it. They did a rides party for the employees of Great Adventure, specifically for like Kingda Ka, Twister, and Green Lantern. That's a sign right there. You had no response from the park in regards to these rumors, which you've seen on other rumors here and there, such as when Vortex was rumored before Orion, or when Kumba was rumored to be closing. Busch Gardens Tampa decided to quickly put out a statement clearing that up and saying Kumba's here to stay. Nothing came out like that for Great Adventure, and by indirectly doing that, I feel like it fueled the rumors even more. But we gotta live with the fact now that Great Adventure is losing these 6 rides, and something new is gonna have to come in its place. So speaking of which, I'm planning to make another video on this topic more, but I'll dive deep into it a little bit now, in which Six Flags, the company, said that they're investing over $1 billion in their chain of parks, with Great Adventure being confirmed as a 2026 replacement, saying it's going to be a multi-record breaking launch coaster of some kind. So that's going to be interesting to follow in the 2025 season. 6 rides leaving at once, that is going to be a huge shakeup for the park in terms of ride availability and just the park identity as a whole. I feel like the Great Adventure that I grew up with is changing big time, with some of these marquee attractions going away. And whether Six Flags Great Adventure feels more like a Cedar Fair park going forward might be due to this decision or others down the road. It's really fascinating. So like I said, this video is very reactionary. I had no script going into this, but I want to get my initial thoughts and feelings out about this decision. It's very interesting to see, and I have a bunch of mixed feelings about it. The rest of the videos on this subject are going to be more celebratory in terms of the rides that closed honoring their legacy, as well as just more happy feeling, I guess. But I want to know your thoughts as well. Be sure to go down in the comments and share your thoughts and feelings regarding the 6 ride closure at Six Flags Great Adventure. Are you hopeful? Are you angry? Leave your comments down below, and I'm really interested to see what you think. But I guess the one positive thing about it, I wasn't a big fan of Green Lantern anyway.